Hey guys, gonna bang through some movies this video. Lots of movies to review, so let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host, John Maffio, and today's featured movie or movies, we have a bunch. Let me take a second to explain myself. In June, I was gone for a couple weeks because I was doing something really cool. I was filming for a tour for my friend, and I'm back. While I was gone, though, I saw a few movies, and I just kept my thoughts in my brain until I had the time to make a video, and this is that video. So I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of movies from June, and one movie from July that I just saw a couple days ago. And then we're going to get back into swinging things. I just wanted to play catch-up again. I made a couple of these videos, but yeah, here we go. Catch-up reviews. Ready, set, go. First we have WARCRAFT, the first big game-to-film adaptation of the year. I heard mixed things about it, I watched it, and I had mixed feelings about it. I enjoyed it more than I expected to. I really liked the special effects. The special effects for the world building, the characters, the orcs, these eagles that they fly on, I don't know what, the giant birds, kind of like Lord of the Rings. Everything that involved the world building, I really enjoy. They really, seems like they took the time and effort to create this world of WARCRAFT. So if they ever make a sequel, and they expand on the world, well, they have some really good foundation to build upon. But I am a big fan of Duncan Jones. I love Moon, I love source code, so I can't say I blame him, because he's a fan of the source material, but I think there was some studio conflicts going on here, or they were too afraid to take a big risk with a movie like this, when they should have probably taken more risks. There were a couple parts of the movie where I was surprised, in terms of the direction of the story. A couple characters bite it, and a couple things transpired I didn't expect to happen, and by the end of it, I was kind of underwhelmed, but I was still surprised in where the story led from beginning to end. The action was kind of underwhelming, though, too, along with the story. However, I would like to see a sequel. If we get the chance to see a second film that's based on the story that's been created in this movie, I'd be down for that, because I enjoyed this enough to want to watch it again if it comes on cable, or if I have to because the second one comes out. But it's a good movie. It's nothing great. It's just kind of forgettable. So I'm giving this one a full course Applebee's meal. It's just a 3 out of 5. Next we have Conjuring 2. I loved The Conjuring 2. That's the first thing I wanted to say because I loved it so much. I saw it twice, and I loved it even more the second time. The Crooked Man and Valak are both really terrifying characters, especially the Crooked Man. Oh my god. The camera work and the directing by James Wan is so flippin' good. I can't get enough of it. Ever. I hope he makes horror movies forever until he croaks, because he's a master of suspense and horror. The characters are actually really good. I was a big fan again of Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson playing the Warrens. I was a big fan of their relationship and how it, revolved around the story. There's a scene that involves an Elvis song that when I think about it, I get emotional. The ending's kind of underwhelming, but there are some really creative, guys, there are some really creative scares in this movie, and you have to watch this if you're a horror fan, because there's one scene where it involves focus with the camera and Patrick Wilson. It's one of the coolest scenes I've seen in any movie, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened before. But that's why we have James Wan, because he's a creative motherfucker. This movie gets a 5 out of 5. It's Maffadocious, one of my favorite horror movies maybe ever. I liked it more than Conjuring 1, and I almost really loved The Conjuring 1. This one tops it. I can't believe that. I thought it was just going to be okay, because Insidious 2 is just okay. Next is Finding Dory. I don't have a lot to say about Finding Dory. I was really engaged by it. It's kind of a carbon copy of the first movie, but not really, because the subplots are a little different. The voice acting is really good. The animation is spectacular. It's some of the best in Pixar history, but I mean that underwater world is just fuming with creativity and vibrant colors. I was a really big fan of the Dory storyline of her trying to find her parents and her short-term memory loss. The movie is really cute. Baby Dory is to die for. I was a big fan of Hank the Octopus, voiced by Ed O'Neill from Married with Children and Modern Family. He's my favorite character in the whole movie besides Dory. The story is kind of forgettable aside from the main core plot, which is Dory finding her parents, whether she finds them or not. But this is a better sequel to a Pixar movie, I think, than Monsters University was to Monsters, Inc. Because Monsters University was just forgettable in my opinion. It's just Finding Dory, I can actually see myself watching again and wanting to watch again. Nothing tops Toy Story 3 though, and nothing ever will top Toy Story 3. So Finding Dory gets a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's a darn good Applebee's meal. Next we have POPSTAR, Never Stop, Never Stopping. It's the Lonely Island crew. It's like a documentary Spinal Tap type of movie, and I actually didn't expect this is Spinal Tap mockumentary style for the movie, so going into it I was like, oh wow, I'm already kind of impressed. But the movie is just a solid comedy because it's really funny. It's really good. It has a lot to say about the pop culture society we live in nowadays and how quick things happen and how quick things, dissolve and then reemerge and all that, how it's just like boom, 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 boom. I think most people who watch it, even though comedy is one of the most subjective genres in Hollywood and movies in general, I think chances are you're going to enjoy one or two aspects of it and you'll come out liking it. However, I'm only going to give this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It's a full-course Applebee's meal. If you happen to watch it, you will enjoy it, I think. But it's not anything special. Next is Central Intelligence, the comedy in this video that I actually enjoyed more. Surprisingly, I thought this was going to suck. I went into this thinking it was going to bomb. And maybe it was just my low expectations, but at the end of the day, I was very surprised by Central Intelligence. It was like a role reversal here with Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Kevin Hart plays more of the straight man, and Dwayne Johnson plays like the crazy little man-child. They both play off each other really well, though. We have a couple surprise villains in this movie. I don't want to give it away. There's a certain actor from a certain TV show that I love who pops up in this movie out of nowhere, and I thought he was going to have a small role. He ends up having a bigger role than I expected. And he does his niche from that show that I love, and I'm just like, this has no sense being in this movie, but I still really enjoyed it because it's a silly movie. It's a silly comedy. The jokes are just absurd. A lot more miss than they do hit, but I still enjoyed all the jokes regardless, if that makes any sense. I think the chemistry between Dwayne and Kevin is the best aspect of the movie, and some of the action is actually really fun to watch. I would watch this movie again in a heartbeat. I'm giving this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's a darn good Applebee's meal. This one, I would recommend more than POPSTAR. It's more accessible. It's nothing amazing. It's just two really popular actors right now getting together to do like an action comedy, kind of like the other guys. But it's really worth your while if you're a fan of these people. Finally, we have Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, which I saw most recently. I didn't know what to expect from this movie. But at the end of the day, this is the comedy I liked the least. Doesn't mean I didn't like it though. This is the most bland of R-rated comedies as they come. Zac Efron and Adam Devine have good chemistry, even though they both play cartoon characters, along with Anna Kendrick and Aubrey Plaza, who both also play cartoon characters. This movie is like a giant cartoon. It's absurd. Characters don't act like real people for the entire film, but it expects you to take certain moments really seriously towards the end, kind of like a Wedding Crashers type of deal, where it starts off really funny and like, oh, and then you start getting into real shit, and it's like, oh yeah. But it kind of makes more sense in Wedding Crashers. Everybody's like a cartoon, so why should I care about these characters and their backstories? Because I really don't. A lot of the jokes really miss, but some of the jokes really hit too. I was gut-busting for a good amount of this movie. However, it does really get weighed down because the comedy sometimes there's a fine line. Depending on what movie you're trying to make, when you're trying to make a comedy, this one tries to do a little bit too much. It doesn't know what it wants to be in certain moments. There's a lot of tonal shifts, but I would say that it's a fun time. You're not going to remember it in like a week or two. I already kind of forgot about it. That's kind of the worst I could say about it, though. I don't really have terrible things to say about this movie. It's just, it is what it is. And having said that, I'm going to give Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates a 3 out of 5. It's a full course Applebee's meal. It's just aight. So, those are my catch-up reviews for June, and the last one was for July. As you can see, nothing was bad. I haven't seen any bad movies, except for one, but that will be in another video that you'll see very soon. But if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and check out my Facebook and Twitter accounts in the info box. There's a fly in here. Why is there a fly in here? Where'd you come from? Maybe he just wants my flesh. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.